Have you ever read a book and then forget what you read? I've been taking highlights and notes on the books, but at the end I've never read them again. They are too long, and I try to make outline out of those highlights, but they are still too long. So I figured that AI could be a good tool to summarize the outline for me. And the difference between the summary written based on my outline of the book to those summary that I can find online is that they are more personalized and focused on my interests, because I believe that everyone reads the book differently and the highlights could be different, the outline would be different. And then, so at the end, everyone can get their own summary of the book. And doing that will really help memorize what we read on the book.
When reading books in Kindles, I will usually highlight the books, and I can find the highlights in the annotation, but honestly, I seldom read them. And then I learned that there's a tool called Readwise that can import my notes from Kindle and export to my note apps. So I can just configure it to connect for not just Kindle but like Apple Books and Libby, and then I can choose to export to the note app of my choice. You see here I connect it to Evernote and Notion, but there are other note-taking apps to choose from. And this is Notion. The notes from Readwise are exported under the Readwise page, and I've been trying to highlight the notes here. However, as you can see, I'm only highlighting the parts I feel important, and when that gets into the notes, it looks out of context. So I had to find the original annotation in Kindle to find what the context is. And then I will create a new note in Notion to write the outline for the book. So you can see that I put the chapter title as the highest level bullet point, and the highlights that I make as the second level. This is quite a bit of work, but this is also a chance for me to remember what I have read. I don't have the subscription, so I'm using the 3.5 model. I told the ChatGPT to use the excerpts from the book, and I told it the book name as well as the author, and I also tell it to draw on external source. Overall, I think it has done a good job on converting my outline into writing, but I don't see any external information. So I asked it to draw more content from the web to enhance the summary. However, I think that it is taking my words too literally and draw too much information from outside. The good part is that it did rewrite the format and make it easier to read it. And then I tried the ChatGPT 4 model with for comparison. I also asked it to enhance the writing is like pay-per-use 3.5 model. It only takes a few cents to write a book summary like this. The first thing that caught my eye was that it has built-in the subtitle model, which I have not provided. It has also converted my outline into writing pretty well. I can't say it is better than the 3.5 model, as I think the writing is also tried to use no preference. However, it has just refused to do it. So I decided to use the Google AI Studio instead. The Google AI Studio is just like the ChatGPT API, which developers can use to test their prompt before they actually make development on it. And for us, we can just use its Gemini Pro model for free. Personally, I like its results slightly better than the ChatGPT one because I feel it is shorter and more to the point. However, it has not got the subtitle like the ChatGPT 4. It is not chat, so I don't have a dialogue to put in a question, but I can just append my prompt at the end. And then I can ask it to one again. Note that this time it has drawn in the subtitle from the outside source. And it has also filled in a few details into the author's advice. That's how I use the AI tools to do book summary. Hope that you enjoy it.